It's Regressive Rose. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new, thank you if you have been here before. It is absolutely positively stunning. It is very nice and warm. And I had a lot of things to talk about. I do have a very long list that I made of topics that once again I did not bring out because I'm just not used to doing that. I went a long period of time without coming out with a topic, so now I keep forgetting that I made an actual entire list, and now I have to remember to actually bring the list. But I could certainly email a copy to myself so that I always have it, which is a really good idea. I think I'll do that when I get home. So I think I covered the focus thing the way that I wanted to. I know that I do want to talk about identity and shifting identity. You know, these things are, they can be very tricky. They can be very challenging. They can be, they don't have to be. You will see other YouTubers telling you that they don't have to be. You're making it difficult in your mind. This shirt looks a lot brighter on camera than it looks. Like, it's just a dark kind of purple, but it looks like, to me, it looks like really bright. But, so focus, identity is something I really want to cover. I don't know if it's going to be flowing today. When it comes to identity, we establish an identity about ourselves based on really silly things. I mean, it's like, think about all the things that you never processed from, say, junior high. And hopefully saying that's not like super triggering. To me, it's like semi-triggering. I know a lot of the things that I still have showing up in my reality right now are like unresolved junior high things. Literally, it's like junior high energy. But I know that we have varying, there's varying degrees of triggering and, you know, things that people have gone through throughout their lives. And for me, well, the eating disorder happened. It started when I was in junior high. It's such a weird place to be in terms of like friends, like knowing who your friends are. Because one minute they're like one group of people, and the next minute they're like they're not that group of people. And that's based on some very, very silly, ridiculous, I'll say dumb things, very dumb things. But unfortunately, some of those things like stay with us and then they affect us. It's not something that like you're going throughout your life and you're just always referencing this earlier time period. No, it's just there. Like the energy was just never processed. It's just sitting there, and then it's just kind of affecting every way that you react or show up in your life. Now we're in our adult life, our adult lives, and these things that are unresolved and unprocessed sit there dormant, but they're affecting how we behave, how we react, how we perceive things. When I say like unresolved and unprocessed, things can be resolved and processed very quickly. Really the biggest ingredient to this is understanding, having the awareness about it, having the awareness that that is the case. I think that's really the biggest thing, is just the awareness about it. I think it's like getting to that point, getting to that place of actually having the awareness that there's still things from all that time ago, all that time ago that is sitting in there. But bringing it back to the identity talk, and I'm going to be squinty. It's very squinty weather for me. And I do have sunglasses on, but I don't know, I feel like they just cover my face really a lot. And they also are very dark ones. So it's good to drive with them on, but being out doing the video, I prefer to just, I guess, deal with it and kind of squint. But so these unprocessed things affect our identity. Your identity is just the way you see yourself. Your identity is just the way you see yourself and what you think is possible for yourself. The things that you go after in your life based on how you see yourself, who you see yourself as. You can literally in any moment choose to see yourself any which way that you want to see yourself. You could see yourself as the person that you want to see yourself. You could see yourself as a celebrity. You can see yourself literally in any kind of way that you want to. It's like we're waiting for some kind of permission, waiting for external validation for somebody else to give you the green light. Maybe they will tell you to do something or encourage you to. Maybe they won't. But it's up to you to give yourself that green light. Give yourself the green light. It doesn't matter if you show up every single day and behave a certain way or react to things a certain way and then one day react a completely different way. You could certainly do that. I think that we focus too much on what other people are expecting of us and ways that we feel that other people are expecting us to show up. And if we've showed up as this type of person or that type of person, then we have this feeling of like a mental obligation that we have to continue to show up that way to stay consistent with other perceptions of us. And that's just not how it is. And then there's other things that go into it too. Like I mentioned in the last video about sometimes just the way that you see yourself is like a form of home. It's a way that it's a version of you that's very familiar. So if you step outside of that, it can feel very weird and uncomfortable and unfamiliar. And kind of feel like not like it could just like kind of be shaky. It could create like a shakiness. But honestly, I just think it's really fun to shake things up and change things around. And it's like fun for no other reason. It's just fun. It's fun to show up and just be the person that you actually choose to be. And you could choose to be whoever you want to choose to be. So you're the only person that gets to dictate who you are. You're the only person who gets to say who you are. So I think we give a lot of power away. We give a lot of power away to other people. We give power away to circumstances. And it just leaves us playing very small. And then we get to run these things. I'm kind of being very general, so I'm not giving like examples in this moment, but say there's something that keeps showing up repeatedly. As long as you keep showing up as the same person repeatedly, the same results are going to keep showing up repeatedly. And then what happens is we get to confirm that that's just how things work. This is just how it works for me. This is when I get into like the EFT, emotional freedom technique. There's a lot of people that I follow that do that. And in their tapping scripts, those are the types of things that are addressed. Like a lot of it is, this is just the way that it is. This is the way that it always works out. And the thing is, like I always say about the time not being real, the reason I mention that is because your subconscious doesn't have any concept of time because it actually is not real. So when we're declaring something is true, we're declaring that it's true perpetually. So we're declaring that it's true now. And since there only ever is now, we're declaring that is always true now. So something has no other choice but to keep showing up the same way as now and now and now. So that's why I mentioned the time thing a lot. But again, there's times to talk about it in terms of, in the systematic way. But in terms of actually calling it for what it is, it does not exist to your subconscious mind. Then whatever you speak in the present moment right now is going to be your truth. And even though something doesn't feel like it is true in this now moment, if you continue to speak at it that way and focus on it, as I talked about in the previous video about focus and the importance of being able to manage your focus, so that the things that show up are the things that you actually want to show up. So whatever you speak of is the truth now. If it's the truth now and you declare that it's the truth now, it'll be the truth in a new now. It'll be the truth in another new now. It'll be the truth in another new now. Because you're not allowing for the opportunity or the space for anything to change. There are definitely things I've had to work on consistently. And I'm not saying that they're easy. Like I said before, they can be very easy. I mean, they can be very super simple. It's as easy as or difficult as you want it to be. It's as easy or as difficult as you believe it to be. So whatever we believe to be true will be true. And that's where I get into like the law of assumption type things. And I said I'm going to get a little weird on this channel talking about those types of things. So whatever you believe to be true for you will show up as the truth. So whatever you declare in this now moment will continue to show up in this now moment, and this now moment, and this now moment. So what is it that you want to see? What changes do you want to see? What changes do you want to make? See those now. See them now. You have to see them now, because now is the only moment that actually exists. Now is the only moment that ever actually exists. So for something to show up, we can't consistently keep replaying the way that it has showed up. That is the result of previous beliefs and assumptions, the way that things have always played out. So when you decide that things are different, that's when things are different. And sometimes, like I said in a previous video about being an actor, and again, I want to pair that with processing emotions properly, not ignoring emotions that need to come up to the surface and be cleared. But let's say you've done that, being an actor, and what do I want to see? What do I see right now? Do I see green grass? I want to see purple grass. That sounds kind of silly, like, oh, okay, so that's getting really far out there. Well, no, it's not. Somebody could have some kind of Easter egg thing out here and sprinkle the grass with fake grass that's purple. So it actually is very possible. But I have to declare that that's what I want to see in order to make that a possibility. So, and a lot of this goes back to our habits, and that's why I talk about the habits so much, because our habits drive the things that continue to show up on a regular basis. And that is really tied into identity. So if you're in the identity of somebody who takes this direction or takes that direction or takes this way to work or takes this way to whatever destination, and you do that consistently, we're not leaving room to experience something else. We're not leaving room to experience something different. So if I take this way, or if I'm always going to this store, it's like those are happening. Those things are happening. They're on autopilot. They're from the previous version of myself that I consistently have been. And I consistently be those ways because that's what feels comfortable and familiar to me. But if we want something else that's unfamiliar, but it's something we really want, it's important for us to learn other ways of getting outside of our comfort zone and doing other things and other areas that are unfamiliar. Good things, obviously. But I mean, like an example, like very simple, is just going to a different store. So if you stop at a store on your way home, like I do, I stop at the store like almost every day, I feel like. But I get it, like I get the time. Sometimes you just want to run in and run out. But honestly, like creating that pattern interrupt, just shaking things up, throwing a wrench in that whole routine where you're just like on autopilot. But before I forget to mention that I do prefer to do these videos outside. I say this in almost every video now, probably every video. I do them outside. I prefer to do them outside. I have videos that I did in the car, and I will do other videos in the car probably, and other indoor videos, but I prefer to do them outside as a comfort zone hack. I like to get and stay out of my comfort zone, and there are people out today. There's a lot of people out today on the trails, and I want to be comfortable with that. I want to be okay with that. I don't want to not create my video because there are people out that could potentially be watching me. There was a girl one day, I turned around and there was somebody like recording me. So, and she stopped the second that I like saw her. But I mean, that didn't stop me, you know? So it's important for me to not be controlled by any of these outside things, because this is what I want to do. I declared that I wanted to do this a long time ago, and I'm doing it. And being outside not only provides really cool scenery for you, and it's just fun to edit because I just really do love, you know, the nature stuff. But it helps me get and stay out of my comfort zone consistently. And then and that's something I could share with you as well. If I don't publish the hat and gloves video, I want to reiterate what I said about the Zoolander thing, about the files are in the computer. So in the sunset video, I have like, instead of using the titles, I'm just going to like do that. We have the snow video and we have the sunset video. I think it was before the snow video. I was talking about staying consistent with editing, and I did establish a whole routine with that. And that kind of like got away from me pretty quickly. I mean, I did do it. I started off doing it. I was editing every night, and that just got away from me. I would come home very tired sometimes, and I just was so tired. And then things just got really busy. And I simply asked, I basically asked the universe. Like I basically just asked the question. 'Cause obviously, I need to establish some kind of routine with editing. I can't just do it once a weekend. And I want to like do these videos like more than once a weekend. Also, I want to record much more frequently. We got to start. The starting point needs to be, I need to consistently edit so I can actually get some of the stuff that I've already done out. So I simply asked the question, and that's when like the files are in the computer answer came to me. So I'm just like, I have an hour in the morning that I've been doing this for years and years and years and years and years, where I meditate. It's a tea time meditation, but because I'm drinking tea, especially since I'm drinking tea, it's very difficult for me to actually meditate most times. So it's just kind of my like waking up properly in the morning. Like I don't go on my phone or do anything. It's just like I'm sitting in the dark with my tea, basically trying to meditate, and it's an entire hour long. Since the meditations have been very unsuccessful, most times, there have been times I was able to successfully meditate. I decided to cut down the meditation aspect of my tea time in half and just do 30 minutes of that, and then do 30 minutes of editing with my tea. So I still get my tea time, don't have to take my tea time away. Which actually, ironically and quite like funny, is editing is actually more of a meditative experience, as it turns out, than sitting there trying to meditate with all this other stuff in my mind, because I'm not focused on anything else but my project when I'm editing. So it was just a very the files are in the computer. For those of you who know like Zoolander, he's like, it's so simple. I got an answer on that immediately when I asked the question. So when you ask your subconscious questions, you get an answer. And I got that answer. And that is what I've been doing ever since. That has been working out just amazing. It's been working out absolutely amazing. So I want to thank the universe for that answer. And it's a way for me to be consistent. And the hilarious thing about it is that like years before I launched the channel, I envisioned working on my projects in the morning, like at that time in the morning, like super early in the morning. That's what I wanted to do for the longest time. So here I am. I manifested that. Now I'm working on my projects in the morning before I even go to work. So that's working out really well. Another thing I wanted to add, in the last video, I talk about a starting point to like for things that you want to get started. Another thing that I did, so the lists were something I started doing like really soon before the channel ended up happening. I think that just really created momentum to launch the channel, was creating topics. And that's what I did. That was like a starting point to this specific channel. But what I did before that, like we're going back to like 2020, I think, that year. I had started just making random vlogs. So maybe I'll dig out some footage from those times and just make a little compilation of just getting comfortable with being in front of the camera. And that's when I bought that mic. I bought that microphone. I don't remember what year I bought the microphone, but I bought it. I might have bought it in 2020. I bought it somewhere years ago and didn't even know what to do with it. Like I just felt so awkward and uncomfortable, even like being out like in my car with the microphone. I'm like, what am I even gonna do with this? And it took me a long period of time before I actually used the mic for anything. I just recorded with my phone in the car. I made like vlogs, and I did that like on and off for a few years. Okay, so that shut off. So I'll make this quick. So I just did vlogs just to get myself comfortable talking in front of the camera. And I was just talking about random things. I was inspired by some other YouTubers. I was inspired by another YouTuber specifically, has kind of like a variety. She does like ASMR, but she does like, her channel is kind of like a variety type channel. So it was inspired, like the vlogs style was like inspired by that. So I just did that and I played around with that just to get comfortable in front of the camera. Like I had different fitness things I was kind of involved in. So I would talk about that, you know, on my way there. And so it was just like really fun, and it was a way to get me to not be shy in front of the camera. So maybe I'll do like a little compilation of some of those, or just throw some of those in one of my videos just to show like the early versions of just getting comfortable doing this. So there's quite a bit of people out today because it is a really, really gorgeous day. So I think it is important for me to come out, and if I feel a little squeamish, like it's interesting to me because I do get squeamish if I'm not out for a period of time, or if I didn't record for a period of time. And there was like a couple weeks that I didn't even record, just like in that there was a lot of weather stuff going on. And then like I said before, the town was a mess and it was just like super cold, and whatever was going on, I just didn't even feel inspired to do a video in my car. But then like once I came back to it, like the first video I did coming back to it, it's like I fell in love with it all over again. I just fell in love with the process again, and just how much fun it is to come out and do it. And so that's where I'm at right now. It's really fun to do these videos. I mean, it's just really, really fun. I feel really good doing them. There was a time when this was not who I was, or at least this isn't like the identity that I was in. It was a person that just makes videos. So it's really, really, really cool, because when I did the first video after like all that snow and like winter stuff, and I wasn't out for a while, a couple weeks at least, when I did come out again, it was so cool, and I felt like myself again. So I just think it's really, really neat. Like there was a time when doing this didn't feel like something I would do, but I've been very consistent with it. And since I've been consistent with it, it's who I am. And when I don't do it, that I then don't feel like myself. So when I finally came back out and did the videos again, I just felt like myself again. I'm gonna actually do an ending here like I normally do, because I keep having to delete stuff. So it's Augusta Rose. Thank you so much for watching me today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you have subscribed, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have not, feel free to comment down below on anything that you want to comment on. Anything that I talked about today in today's video, feel free to comment down below. Anything that you would like me to cover in a future video, feel free to comment down below. Feel free to comment down below on literally anything at all. And as always, I will definitely see you soon.